Well, good evening, Truck and Tractor Pull fans. We're back again, and we got Kendra Barnhart, and I think we're pretty much going to have Kendra on as a permanent co-host. I think it's a pretty good idea. I call her the pulling guru. She doesn't know that yet. That's her new nickname. But hi, Kendra. How are you tonight?
I'm good, JR. How are you?
No, I'm doing good. But I've been thinking about it, and we're going to probably have her on. Um, she knows just as much about pulling and local pulling, pulling afar or interstate, East Coast, you name it. So I think it's a pretty good, and she's a good talker, and she can help me make up an hour's worth of something. So,
Yeah,
but
any of the guys I go pulling with will say talking is one of my strong suits.
that's that's great, and that's what it takes. So, but
Yep.
we wanna ask everybody that decides to tune in tonight. Chat room's open. Just keep it clean. Ask any questions you want. We'll try to answer them best we can, and hit the like, subscribe, and share, and ring the bell for notifications. We post pulling videos every day. We got a real good one posted today at the 10 Open class. Bless you, Brandy Martin. I know it was a bad deal. It's no pun on you, and I'm really glad that you're okay. Unfortunately, it looks like the tractor took a pretty hard hit there, but I know you'll be back. So hang
Yep.
in there. We're pulling for you, and we're really sorry that happened to you Saturday night. And Kendra can talk more about that. She's actually going to take care of Selinsgrove for us, and hit the thumbs up for us. It goes a long way with YouTube, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you tuning in, and just keep watching and share the page. We want to keep growing. So I guess, Kendra, with that said, I got some scrollers that's going to give some results, top three from your event that you're going to cover, and I have all the Woodstock Interstate class results that's going to be scrolling up too. I'm still waiting on. I'd have had the farm stock, and there was a 1900 modified mini class. I didn't make it there in time for the garden tractor pull. Had some things to do Saturday morning before I left, but it was a great day of pulling in Woodstock. But we'll get into that shortly, and we'll just cut Selinsgrove and Kendra loose here and have at it.
Selinsgrove was an awesome show as always. Top-notch crew, top-notch track crew. I counted up; they had 96 hooks that they got through. And we even had a rain delay. I'm not sure how long the rain delay was. I was, of course, back chit chatting and
Not
wasn't paying attention at the
not
time.
not
I
you.
know.
You weren't
I
back. You weren't
know.
back talking to nobody, were you?
I
No,
know.
not
You
you.
can't imagine that. I think it was probably about an hour and a half till it was all said and done. Perks of having a tarp there, they were able to cover the track, and they did rework it a little bit just because it was a truck class, and that can sometimes be hard on them. The starting line wasn't the best, but they got it figured out and rolled on with the show.
Great.
The first class they had was the 13,000 farm stock. Um, as you guys can see there, the top three was Matt Sedal, Rick Shirey, and then Caitlin Hauk. Caitlin is tearing it up this year. She's in first place in the points with 146 points. Then they have a tie for second with DJ Boop and Matt Sedal with 130 points each. And then everybody else is filing down through accordingly. They had a pile of trucks there. Oh my goodness. They had, let's see here, 17 pulled in the 2.5 and 2.6 smoothbore. And then in the 3.0 class, they had 16 as well. So it was a lot of pickup trucks there that night. Looks like Matt Forba from Montrose, PA, actually took the win. Looks like he put a hurting on 367 feet, put 20 feet on the next person. In that class, they have a really tight points race. Brendan Fink has 146, and then there's two trucks tied at 142. Kyler Zeckman and Carson Stauffer. I actually got to watch a good bit of this class, and it was a really tight competition. Looks like top 8 between second and 8th place were only 10 feet apart. So that's pretty close pulling. That's a good
awesome.
show.
Yeah.
And then a Snyder County favorite was the 10.5 hot stock. I think I watched better part than half of this class. As always, put on a heck of a show. Brad Kramer on the big block deer won Won the class. 3 feet behind was Ray Belak on Rage in Red, and then Jeremy DeLuca took third. Looks like only 4 feet separated first and third.
Yeah, that number one tractor is the Fence Row Deer.
Yeah, and he's doing really well. He's leading the points as well.
Yep.
And then Ray on Rage in Red is second, and John Foreman is third. And only because I know he's watching, Nick Morrison's in fourth place, and he finished fourth.
You mean
that night?
Nick's watching tonight? You think?
He is. Oh yeah, I know he is because he told me we were running late.
Well,
trying to say it's an interstate thing.
If I'd have known that, we'd have brought him in. So somehow or not, I'd have made it work.
Yeah.
Beware, no. Nick. I'm coming after you, Nick.
But yeah, as always, the hot stock guys put on a heck of a show. Jeff King came up. I don't know if you saw anything for his run.
Yes, I did.
But he lost a turbo as well.
Yeah.
So not a good night for turbos up there for people.
No. Unfortunately.
All right. And then the next class they ran was the 10 Open, and that's, as you said, when Brandy absolutely destroyed her turbo. I've never seen a turbo come apart like that.
I've seen some big turbo bangs. But
oh my god!
She's right there. She's right there in the top 1 or 2, Brandy. I mean, that's not something maybe it is. Depends on how you look at it. Maybe you're proud of it. I don't know. But man, that was nasty. Very nasty.
Yeah, it was. And I've never seen one go that hard that early in the pass, too. Like, she was only, 80-some feet? Yeah, 83 feet.
Yeah.
So, it was definitely scary. Those pro stocks are running a big charger.
Yeah.
And when they go, they go. But John Dugan with the Roadrunner Modified coming down out of New York, he took the win. And then Dave Everman on the overruled alcohol, and then Henry with his alcohol took third.
Uncle Henry.
Yep. And then after that was Robert on John Deere Green, and then Henry again on the Force Decision Super Stock. Then after that came Josh Martin on Think Green, and then the Hoyts, Corey, and then I believe actually Chris ran that case that night. I could be wrong. It says Logan in the results, but I'm pretty sure it was Chris running it.
Oh, okay.
And then, they had Don Dean there. Sharon Everman was there with her modified. She got a little squirrely there and had to get out of it. Got a little close to the left line. Mm-hmm. And then Robert also had issues with that darn deer. He didn't make it out on the track, unfortunately. Believe he was having some. I actually honestly can't remember what the problem was.
That's okay.
I know he said when he fired it up, he looked at it and said, "There's a problem." And if anybody knows his pulling tractors, he's a good one. So
absolutely. And after having your very first tractor of the night of 4, to have a problem, that's got to be in the back of your mind. Just I'd be concerned for every one of them. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would worry me to death.
Mm-hmm. The 5th class of the night was the 3.0 Limited Pro Diesels. Like I said, they had 16 in this class. All really competitive trucks. I was not able to watch a lot of this class because we were back getting Burns tractors ready. But Leroy Walker took the win with the Dreams Happen Dodge. And then looks like Jay Hill with the Widowmaker, and then Clint Mills with Against All Odds rounded out the top 3.
Yeah, and that top 1-2 finish was very close.
Yeah, 351.82 for Leroy, and then Jay Hill came in at 351.77.
You bet. Yeah, that's getting her done.
Yeah, a tenth of a foot. Yeah. That's serious. Oh, Brandy just said that looks like one of the head bolts was probably wrong with that darn deer. Why it didn't come out on the track. Huh. That limited pro diesel class, the 3.0 class, they only had 3 trucks sign up for points. Justin Gordon is in the lead, and then Tyler Bagley is in a close second, 6 points behind him. And then Chuck Dutter looks like he missed a pool because he only has 92 points. But all still, anything can happen.
Yeah, it looks like they had a couple of Ohio trucks again.
Yeah, they had
truck out of New Jersey, out of New York as well. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep. One thing about this COVID crisis is, well, we won't call it. We'll use crisis loosely. You're getting to pull with a lot of different people because people are traveling a lot more.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. It's been a hard year for everybody, pulling organizations and stuff, but it really has brought a diversified field of vehicles in and around this area. It's I mean, I want our old schedule back. Don't get me wrong, but it's nice to see different different stuff as well too. So.
Yeah. It's nice getting to run a point series, but it's also nice to get to really travel and just go out and see what other competition is out there. Competition you don't usually get to run with.
Yeah, that's correct. And I see Kervin Zimmerman. We're going to pick on him a little bit. I know he has some driveline failure, but he'll be back pretty quick, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure as well.
Yeah.
The next class that ran is the one I'm pretty partial to, is the 85 Light Pro in the Super Farm. Vern took the win with OZ. Again, another really close 1-2 finish. Vern was 296.98, and then Elwood Sickler with his Super Farm was 296.59. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good proof that the Light Pros and the Super Farms can run together. Which is what we like to see, because that means more people can come out and play.
Well, after Port Royal, I'm glad Vern had a fantastic night at Selinsgrove.
Especially on OZ.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that tractor definitely redeemed himself.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then Tyler Wooliver with the Just In Case was third. Then Vern again on Dr. LZ was fourth. Ron Belknap was there. I don't think he's been to Selinsgrove this year. So it was nice to see him come out. And then we also had 2 Light Limiteds pull in that class, Clayton Sweeney and Matt Dersham. And they both had very respectable runs. Obviously, they're under horsepowered, but they still went out there and had really nice passes and put on a good show for the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, we're glad that they participate. That's great. Of course, I know Matt, that's pretty much in his backyard, I guess. But
yeah, and I think Clayton actually left his tractor up with Matt, knowing that this pool was coming up. So he didn't really have any other pools he wanted to go to down his way, so he just left it up with Matt, and then he didn't have to haul it both ways on Saturday.
We won't pick on Clayton tonight. We'll let him alone.
Oh, come on. I'll tell you what, though, he actually had the crew shirts made up, and he did a really nice job. They look really good. So
very good.
I told him I was jealous, and then Vern says that we'd never. What did he say? Our crew shirts would never last because we work too much at pools.
And you got a whole lot of stuff you'd have to put on them, I think.
Exactly.
I mean, you try to. I don't know. I don't know what you would call the Zerby pulling team or whatever you would call it, but
yeah, the Z team. But then the last class of the night, which I actually did not stick around for, I rode up with Josh and Brandy, and they're dairy farmers, so we had to hit the road because I believe it was already midnight till the Light Pro class got done because of the rain delay. Nothing against Snyder County; there was nothing they could do.
Nope, not at all.
But, for having a 1.5, 2 hour rain delay, they still did really well with getting their pull in, and there was no sitting around waiting on them, which was nice. But the last class was the Wild Street, which is where they run diesel and gas trucks together. And I believe both times that they've run this, they've had a really good turnout and really good numbers. Looks like Josh Zimmerman took the win at 3:17, and then Jake Wagner was 3:14.76, and then Ross Harder was third at 3:13.54. So again, all the classes were really competitive, and I think they had a really nice show. They had a heck of a turnout. There was trucks and cars parked everywhere. And they stuck it out through the rain, which you always want to see.
Yeah, good for them. Good.
Yeah, because they only got, I believe they got through the farm stock class and then a couple of the 2526 class, and then they had to cover the track.
That's correct. Yep.
So it was nice that people stuck around for them, and I'm sure that the Snyder County crew appreciated it. And every time I went by the food stands, there was a line. So I'm sure they were happy as well.
Yeah, considering, what they had to endure the first event they had there, not being allowed to have any spectators.
Yeah.
And really having a fortune of only, I don't want to talk about their financial status or anything. But
yeah.
They didn't lose a whole lot of money thanks to their sponsors. Now they're making up for it, which is good. So.
Yeah, they had an awesome crowd there. So some places you go to, especially those, for lack of better terms, the brush pools, the pools that I enjoy the most, the ones that are out in the middle of the field and you don't have to worry about curfews, you don't have to worry about nothing like that. Sometimes the crowd does get a little more out of control. And I've never seen that at Snyder County, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a nice place to go pool. That's for sure. Well,
it is.
Selinsgrove, yeah.
That's all I had for Selinsgrove. If you want to go on into Woodstock.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why I'm getting a message here from YouTube. Not receiving enough video to maintain. If anybody's watching, you want to jump in the chat there and let me know what you see. I don't know what's going on. This internet's something else sometimes, but usually only when we got some weather moving in or some weather between here and wherever. But I don't think there's any, so hopefully it's just something that'll heal itself here quick. So I see it's streaming. It's just taking a while, so to go through. But anyway, yeah, we had a fantastic time in Woodstock. Obviously, the weather I thought was going to really be bad as far as heat goes down there. But we would get a big cloud cover and a breeze all day long. It was amazing. It really didn't sweat. So
good.
That was really awesome. So, but I'm getting feedback now. Do you have volume turned up somewhere?
I don't think so.
Huh, that's really weird. But anyway, just a little bit there. It's probably no big deal. But yeah, they started the day. I couldn't get there in time for the start of the garden tractor pull in the morning. But I'm sure they had plenty of them on hand. I think they had limited numbers in the classes. I won't say for sure, but then they had the farm stock event, which started at 1 or 1:30. I think it's 1:30, and I don't have results for them. I apologize, but they're on the way from Toby and the crew. So, but they did pull a 7,500-pound farm stock, 9,500-pound farm stock, and each of those had 10 to 12 in those classes. The 12.5 farm stock was really big. That's 17 entries in that class. And of course, and of course the open farm class was right around, looked like to be 16 entries. So, yeah, it was pretty big, and they were done timely. I was very impressed with, they really ran them through pretty quick. They had plenty of time once we got the farm stock stuff done. And then I will say the Tapscots brought their modified four-wheel drive trucks, and each truck made a test pass, if you were, exhibition run right after the farm stock was done, and they also had an exhibition semi truck that ran. But and then at roughly 6 p.m. or so, they had a memorial for David Street, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And pretty much the whole family obviously was there. A couple of the children gave a speech, if you will. David's wife, Charles Street, the brother, Tom Street, actually opened the show up. And fantastic, man. You guys, that family is just so professional, just about anything they do. And the fleet of trucks coming down the track to park on the track from Street Trucking was really awesome. And everything was just done so well. So, yeah. We miss you, David. And I know we were picking at you. You know, Kendra, you remember we were saying David's going to give us good weather.
Yep, and he did.
He knocked it out of the park, man. And we thank David for that. And, the whole family.
Because what was that? Was it Wednesday or Thursday? You and I were talking, and
It'd
it
have
was
been
like an 80
Wednesday.
to 90% chance of rain.
Yeah, it was Wednesday, and we kept saying David's not going to let it rain. Well, he didn't let it rain, and he gave us a nice breeze all day, and kept us fairly comfortable. So, what more could you ask for? It was perfect. It was the perfect setting, and I know we keep saying it over and over, but we give our hearts and prayers out to the Street family. I know there's still a lot of healing to do, and he'll be missed. He was a great guy, and a lot of fun with him, and every day you'd be thinking about him. So that's for sure. He touched everybody's lives, I think, in one way or another. So,
definitely.
We got through that and got the trucks off the track, and that was really nice. It was really nice to see all those trucks. A lot of drivers come in. You know, they were company drivers. Some of them, I think, were just also friends. Towing company that the Street family uses for their trucks. Charles made a little, I can't remember what he said word for word, but it was kind of comical. He's, thanked the towing company for being there. He says they come and get us when we need them, and we pay them. you know how Charles is. So
yeah.
But it was comical, and it was just a pretty good deal. But they started off with a 1,900-pound mini rod class. I think they said it's from around the Richmond area, and I think I know some of them guys. I couldn't hear too well as far as who was pulling. I don't have results for them either, but they're on the way, and they will be on the video when we get a chance to edit all that. But they put on a pretty good show. Everybody was beyond 300 feet, and some of them really had to get flagged down. Yeah, it was pretty cool. They made a nice show out of it, and then we had the light limited turbo. Would have been the first interstate class, and Matt Smith took the win at 335.80. Shane Scott was second at 322.76, and Mark Smith finished out the top three at 322.73. Fourth was Cody Anderson, and fifth was Perrin Bean. So we had 5 tractors that showed up for that class. And once again, you got to remember, this was a free event. It was free for spectators to come in. It was free for pullers to come and pull, but there was no purse. There was no payout. So these guys came and, duked it out. And I mean, everybody ran hard. There was nobody playing, easy with their equipment. They were out to win. But the big thing was, I think the first place trophy was, kind of nice to get, because it was made by, pretty tall trophy made by the trophy company, which we submitted a photo from. I think it was the year 2007 or 2008 of David Street's tractor, back when it was lettered the old way. And they used that and printed it on a piece of aluminum on top of the trophy. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't get a chance to see the finished product, but somebody walked by with one. I just got a quick glimpse, but we were getting ready to pull a vehicle. I didn't want to scream while the camera was running because I wanted to see it. But
Marty actually sent a picture of all the trophies lined up, and they turned out really, really nice.
Awesome.
It looked like first place was, like you said, like a tall, like a 2-tier. Second place was just the 1-tier, I would call it, and then third place was more of like a little plaque. They were all very nice.
Did they all have pictures on them, or?
They all had pictures. They all had.
Okay, cool.
They all had
awesome.
The David Street Memorial pool, first place, second place, third place, whatever it was. They turned out really nice.
That's great. Yeah, if you have a picture, just forward that to me. I'd like to see what they look like.
I'll send it to you after
great.
this.
Yeah, okay. That's I'm pretty sure it was 2007 or 2008 that photo came from. But I knew I had some, but that was pretty cool to get, to actually, when you dig back, I've had so many computer crashes and stuff over the years here, but everything's on external hard drives as well. And thankfully, one of my old external hard drives had pictures on it. So they also had a street diesel truck class. Again, I'm waiting on results and names of that class. I know a local young fellow won there. I don't know his name, but I don't know his name. I got stuff written down here. I got some of the names, but the winner's name I'm missing, but I know he was local to Woodstock there. He did take the win in the street diesel truck class. Pro Farm Tractors, we had a class of 9. Quite a few of them showed up, and 466 tractor won. That give me just a little bit of bragging rights?
I guess just a little bit.
Ray Norris come in and took the win with Well Armed. I mean, they've got that tractor super tuned, and that thing is on a set of rails this year and tough to beat, man. Ray Norris took the win at 3:47.01. Adam House with the Virginian was second at 3:45, so he was right on his heels.
Wow, yeah.
And Donnie Gokenauer with Double Trouble was third at 3:38.91. And then right behind him was Dwayne Sires with Blue Trifecta. And that's a funny thing about the name of that tractor. The announcer down there pronounced the word trifecta differently, and I can't remember what he said, but it was pretty funny.
It's that Virginia drawl down there.
Yeah. No, I'm not picking on the guy by no means whatsoever, but he said it a totally different way. I've never heard the word trifecta said. And it was really comical. We got a good kick out of that. But by all means, he did a good job announcing. I mean, he was loud. You could understand him, but at times there was noise where I couldn't hear him. But anyway, what did I leave off at? Dwayne Sires was fourth. Fifth was Bradley Seal.
Okay.
Sixth was Bobby Shipe, who had a very good run, actually. He was at 3:25. Seventh was Jason Bowers. Eighth was Jake Reiner. And ninth was Garland Mumal on the Foolish Fun International. So, and boy, those guys like to come and have fun. That's for sure. We actually had I'm sorry, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, yeah, that Foolish Fun bowling team, they really enjoy getting out and very active on Facebook, which is nice.
Yep.
One of I'd say the more active bowling teams on Facebook. Yeah, especially on the interstate circuit.
Yeah, and they look good coming and going. That's for sure. They got the trailer all painted up and lettered up, and tractor looks really good.
Looking good.
Yeah. And I remember, I'm assuming it's the same tractor way back when Garland Mumal was pretty much the only driver of that tractor, and how Pro Farm tractors have come a long way. You know what I mean?
Yes, they
Performance, looks, cages, side shields, and everything. Yeah, it's a great class. It really is. And, Davey and Tara Moore were on hand. They made a couple exhibition passes right after the Pro Farm class, and Davey took the win, so to speak, if you will, over Tara. They were exhibition passes. Davey was 3:02.02, and Tara was a 2:75.98. Both tractors sounded good, run strong, and man, if they just had some more hooks to go out and play, you know.
Yeah.
But, John Foley showed up for the modified class, was the only modified to show up. So they put him as an exhibition run, and he made a nice run at 2:99.18. There's a lot of oil at the end of his run on the frame rail, so I hope it's nothing too serious, but he did. Nevertheless, I'll be honest, it's the best I've seen that tractor run. So, and I've been seeing it for a few years now, but I was pretty impressed with how it run, but something needs fixed. I'm not sure what it is. I hope it's nothing major. And
he started really running, really making some nice solid passes at the end of last year. He made it out to a couple pulls. I'm not really sure what combination he found or who was doing his engine work, but he really got it going good.
Yeah,
proud of him.
And man, he's been pulling a long time. You know, you stop and you look back at the history of John Foley pulling. It is full of many modified tractors and two-wheel drive trucks and just on and on. It's amazing how I never realized how long he'd been pulling and what all he has ran down the track in his career. So definitely the veteran puller, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But mod turbo tractors, do we want to talk about them?
I guess just a little bit.
I mean, it's Kendra didn't show up Saturday night at Woodstock, so. But I'm just kidding.
Earlier. I didn't realize how many people were paying attention to what I said, man. I got all kinds of grief. You said you were going to Woodstock.
Poor Yankee.
Yeah.
I think you're stealing all the Yankees pulling fans.
Hey, you got to go pulling to have fans.
There you go.
And I'll tell him that.
Yeah. There you go. Steve Beckley, man. What can we say about Steve Beckley with the Up and Smoke John Deere?
Man.
Took the win again.
Yeah.
He took the win at 3:29.53, and it don't matter where he's pulling. If he's pulling with the P-Pump tractors with East Coast, wherever, Snyder County, man, that tractor is running hard. And I'm sure there's some more motorsports tuning on that tractor as well. But that's Ray Norris's tractor, and I'm telling you, right now he is the guy to beat. He's just super, super tough.
He is.
Absolutely. Second was local boy, Guy Gokenauer. He was at 318.67.
Yep, I am so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
And when him and I talked, he just hasn't. Guy used to be a very, very top running tractor, and he still is. He still can get a really solid pass every now and again, but he's not pulling as hard as much. So a lot of times when that happens, you don't perform as well every time you come out. And he's like, I just hope I can pull it together.
Yeah.
Him and David were pretty tight, went pulling together for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't need to win. I just want a trophy. So when I seen he got second place, I was really, really happy with it.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sure that trophy is going to be extremely special for him. So
yes, definitely.
And, Guy's got a couple of Keystone National Championships under his belt, too. So
he does. Yeah. He does.
No slouch, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then he's... because him and I were talking about that. He's like, I think he had two really good years back to back, and then 2 years in a row he lost a Charger.
Yes,
going down the track. Yep. And he said it just hasn't been the same ever since. Yep. So I was glad to see it. The tractor had one really good run in it on Saturday night.
Yes, it did. Yeah, absolutely. I missed really pulling is Toby. We gotta get Toby back on the track running again. Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Where did we leave all? Third place. Might be a tractor I think you're familiar with.
Just a little bit.
Z Mistress took third. Jason Malott was at the wheel at 3:15.46. Mm-hmm. Fourth was the bull rider, BJ Wilkins. Very impressive run, BJ. That tractor looks like it's something to watch here very soon. That tractor ran very well. Not that it didn't in the past, but this is the best I've seen it run. Very nice pass. He was fourth.
It's the new side shields. It got pretty and decided to start running.
I heard all about the side shields. Will Witch, you did a good job. We'll talk about you, Wilbur. I call him Willie, Wilbur, whatever. Will Witch, you did a fantastic job. Because he turned around when BJ was hooking to the sled. He was in front of me filming, and he spun around and said, "JR, you keep an eye on these side shields when he gets down here, okay?" I said, "Okay." Just. I said, what do I need to do? Shut the camera off, or I just aggravate me? But yeah, that looks fantastic. You did a good job, Will, on that tractor. And he was fourth. Mm-hmm. Fifth was Tommy Williams on Cadillac Red at 3:13.79. Adam House with Blue Unit. That's a familiar tractor to Vern, I'm sure.
Yep.
At 3:12.34. Adam House was also seventh with Black and Blue, which is a tractor I kind of take to. Something about that hot rod there I kind of like about Black and Blue tractor. Mm-hmm. I was at 3:12.08. Eighth place, Papa Smurf and Jason Forrester at 3:06.77. Really played with the throttle a lot trying to get a hold of the track, is what I noticed with him. But he finished eighth, and ninth was Tommy Williams on Firestorm with a little bit of a wild ride, but wasn't too drastic. But it's nevertheless, tractor got a little upset on the track with him, and but he got through it. Nothing was tore up too bad, so I think nothing was tore up. Period. So and they closed the show. Wayne Tapscott Sr. and Wayne Tapscott the son both made exhibition passes again with their trucks, and that closed the show out. And we were probably done right around, I'd say about 11 o'clock, somewhere around there. So.
Yankee was texting me right around the same time we started pulling like pro class, so I'm gonna assume that it was right around that 11 o'clock mark. Yep.
It was a well-run pool. I mean, there was another class scheduled to be there. No vehicle showed. We won't. Mm-hmm. People have their reasons. That's fine. I mean, but that would have been nice to have had them there too. But they didn't. That's another story, I guess, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But my goodness gracious, if we'd had any more, we'd have been there pretty late too. And I know Selinsgrove. I think I remember. I sent Tanner to Selinsgrove to do some filming, and I'm thinking he said about 2 a.m. they were done, somewhere around there, somewhere in that time period. So.
Wow.
I was already part way home.
That would probably make sense, because if we left around 12:30, actually, we might have been later than that, Lehman. I can't even remember what time we got home. isn't that bad.
Yeah,
But yeah, that would make about sense then
yeah.
for 2 a.m. because they had one more class to do after we left. So
Yeah, I was aggravating him, and I felt kind of bad. Unfortunately, I mean, a rain delay's a rain delay. You can't help that.
hmm
But
no, you can't.
he
And
was
like I said, it was a good quick shower, and I'm sure every farmer around there was grateful for it. But
absolutely,
did it have to rain Saturday night on 6:30?
of course, of course, of course. But
Yeah, that's how it always works.
it got dry here too, real quick, and we've had some. Let's just say we had to cut the grass yesterday, so it finally greened up again here, and hay's looking a lot better. So it was getting rough, but with getting back with Tanner, I was picking on him. Oh, I'm on my way home, and you're still filming till 2 o'clock, but I'm the one that had the 3 hour plus drive home. So
yeah,
if I'd have been 5 o'clock in the morning if I had to film till 2 o'clock. So, but yeah, what the heck? That's part of pulling, right? But
yeah, we always said, it's late when you're getting home and the dairy farmers are starting their next day and you haven't ended yours.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Very true.
Yep.
But all in all, I think both shows. I mean, from what I gathered with the video, I just finished editing all the Selinsgrove footage today, and pretty good stuff. Tanner's catching on to it pretty good. So there's a couple of things we gotta work on him a little bit with, a couple things, but he should be pretty happy. It's he did a pretty good job this time around. So
it's his rookie season. He's allowed to make a couple mistakes.
yeah, that's true. I mean, we all I still make mine at times too. So, but I had a great time at Woodstock. It was great to see some old faces again, talk with some people. Interstate, I just don't get. I got so busy with East Coast that traveling for interstate anymore was pretty tough until this year. Obviously, we have more time because it's limited books, but it's great to see some old friends again, and we'll see about the future. Maybe I can take off and go on a Saturday for off or a Sunday or something, and take off and catch an interstate pool. So it's great to see the old people again. Old faces, not old people. But, yep, had a lot of fun. It was a good time. So.
Yeah, well, I go to a lot of interstate events, and there's people in Woodstock that I don't get to see very often. I did miss seeing them, especially knowing that their fair got canceled. Knowing I won't get to get down there. They always have a really nice fair. Every fair is supposed to be family friendly, but that's one of the more family friendly ones.
Yeah.
You feel safe down there. Guy always says it's the Southern charm, but
and it's a great time and honor to work with Tom and Toby and Guy with the Keystone Nationals Committee, as well as the Foresters and the Oldens. It's we only work with one another face to face. Hopefully we can. We discussed that last week too. Hopefully we can start the planning stages here sometime. But it's great to work with them guys. I've learned a lot business wise, and just great friends, good people to work with, and learned a lot. So
and all of their hearts are in it.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine, like I said last week with Guy and Toby and the entire Young Farmers crowd having to do a day-long event, and it wasn't cool out on Saturday. So I'm sure that they all rested up on Sunday, but I know David was smiling down because every picture video that I've seen, it was a top-notch event.
And that was my first time there since the new setup, and I was like, wow, it's pretty nice. It's pretty open now, and it's a lot more comfortable. It's a lot more elbow room, I think, for them, and worked out really well. So hopefully get to go back again sometime soon. So see what happens. I got some cancellations actually right after our show last week. I no sooner hung up from our conversation in the show, and Frederick, Maryland, Frederick Fair was canceled. So that's another East Coast pool gone. Then also, I think we spoke at Listy on August 1st is canceled. That's another East Coast pool gone. and New Milford. New Milford was on the schedule originally, and though there was some contract stuff going on there, but they ended up losing their fair as well. So there's that's Hartford. I guess they consider that Hartford, PA, or whatever. But that event is also canceled. So I think we're down to like 3 left in for the East Coast, and that's 2 at Lincoln Speedway, and fortunately Greensboro, Greensboro, Maryland's hanging in there. So I'm hoping we can at least get those 3 in. So I'm hoping.
Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen? You know, you can't hardly watch the news anymore without seeing something negative happening with this coronavirus still. On the interstate side, we still have a good many events. The only cancellations we've had since our last chat, I think last week we discussed Luray being canceled. But Woodstock, their fair pool has canceled since you and I last spoke.
Yeah.
And then Westminster, Maryland, and we were supposed to be there on July 31st. So their fair got canceled as well. Still have a pool this Saturday in conjunction with the East Coast Diesel pool up at Numidia Dragway. Their pool starts at 1 a.m. The 8,500 mod turbo class will be there. Kind of a neat event. It's up there in the middle of nowhere. I think it's one valley over from Bloomsburg. They have asphalt drag racing going on side by side with truck pulling. And they always have the 8,500 mod turbo class there as well. Pretty neat event. Not a lot of shade. Don't go there if you're susceptible to sun. Every year I come back burnt to a crisp. I won't be there this year. I'm heading south to North Carolina for probably my first vacation in 3 years that doesn't involve a tractor pull.
Yeah, so. I know the feeling, believe me. I know the feeling.
Not sure how I'm going to act about it, you know, heading to a big city, but
2011 was my last vacation. 2011.
Yeah, I do a lot of traveling, but it always involves a tractor pull.
Right.
So
that's right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, I can't tell you. I had a cousin who lived in Iowa. He was a John Deere engineer, like worked, you know, designed all the engine parts and stuff like that. He moved out to Iowa in 2000. Oh shoot. 8 years ago, so 2012. And we went out there and toured a bunch of John Deere plants, and that's actually where I went to my first Grand National event, was Dubuque, Iowa.
Oh, wow.
So even went to a tractor pull way out there. So.
That's even better. That's great.
Yeah, so that was my last fun vacation, but it still involved a tractor pull.
Yeah, that's great.
So after that, we have July 25th up at Two Top. They are still a go. They are still full steam ahead. The points classes that will be there, obviously they're not collecting points, but the 7,800 modifieds, the 77 light limiteds, the 45 small block trucks, the 10,000 pro farms, and the 11,000 hot farms. The promoter has decided, with everything going on and lack of sponsors and not knowing what the crowd's going to be like, they will only be paying a 75% purse. So basically, if your purse was $2,000, now it's $1,500.
Yeah, that's kind of understandable, you know.
Yeah, and you can't fault them. You know, at least it's somewhere to pull, and they're trying to give you something. And then after that, August 1st will be Monalto, Pennsylvania. And we at Franklin County had our meeting on Monday night. Sorry, all my nights are running together. And we are going to do kind of the same thing we did at Selinsgrove. Any interstate vehicle is allowed to come. I do think we're going to be open to exhibition hooks. If anybody wants to make a test pass, they're more than welcome to give us a call, and we'll see what we can work out. It is probably going to be a full night, so I'm not sure how many we'll be allowing. And then I believe we're also going to do diesel dirt drags at the end of the night. We do have a curfew there, so depending on obviously all that, we will run side-by-side tracks with the mini rods, so that'll help speed things up a little bit. But yeah, should be a good night of pulling at the Mont Alto Fire Hall.
I think Tanner had mentioned that to me, and I think, what was the date on that again?
August 1st.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's when Listy was and were canceled. So I have a feeling we may see you in Mont Alto.
Awesome,
Yeah.
I will be there.
Yep.
Oh, you forgot an East Coast pool because Union County Fair is still on, so we'll be back up at Laurelton.
Yeah, I was going to let you finish, and then I was going to go over what we have left. But you're right, I would have found it.
Yeah,
I'm looking. It's hard to keep track of it because every time you turn around, something's canceled. And, and I'm sure Terry's tired of me calling and messaging him what pulls next. So,
so interstate classes will be there on the 6th, which is a Thursday, and the 8th, which is a Saturday. Different classes on those nights, I believe. Yeah, the 6th would be our mini rods and then the small block trucks. And then on Saturday night is pretty much everything else. The Mod Turbos, Pro Farms, Light Limiteds, mods. Then they also have a 10,000 open class and an 8,500 run what you brung. Trucks, tractors, anything is welcome.
That's kind of a go up and buy a house or rent a house for a week or pitch a tent or take a motorhome or something and spend the week at Laurelton, because I guess there's really something going on every night of the fair there, really.
Oh, they have all kinds of stuff there. I know they usually have concerts. Not sure what, the Corona did with that. I probably should talk to DJ or Dennis about that. They usually have a concert there one night, and then I think like 4 or 5 nights of pulling. Brian Yeager does a lot of the announcing, and I believe he takes a camper up and just camps out. Which you'd almost have to.
Yeah.
Because he's there 4 or 5 nights in a row. So.
Hey, Brian, buddy. I'm just kidding.
Hey,
I'm just kidding.
Buddy.
I'll buy the adult beverages. How's that, buddy?
Yeah. And then Center Hall canceled. That would have been our next hook. Jefferson County Fair, I believe they are still on. I have not heard anything back. They're in West Virginia, so they're a little more lenient. At least they were the last time I checked. Everything could have changed. And then we get into a lot of questions, so we won't even really.
Yeah.
You hate to really go out there and say, yep, they're on, when all you hear is, well, we have to wait and see, or that we're split 50-50, which to me, that would be even harder than saying, yes, we're canceled, is, having half your board on board and then half of them saying, nope, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So
well, as of right now, technically they are still a go. So.
Yep.
Exactly. If you mention them,
yeah.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
It's a positive thought.
Yeah. You hope to stay positive. Harrisonburg, Virginia, their pool is on August 22nd. They said we're going to know for sure by July 22nd as to whether or not they're a go. Boonesboro, Maryland, the Oldens, they're still a go for Labor Day weekend. I believe they're going to do diesel drag racing on the Friday night and tractor pulling on Saturday. So that'll be a fun little Friday, Saturday show.
Yeah. Okay.
Those diesel drag races, man, they're getting quite the following. I'm kind of surprised how many people come in for that.
I went out there, I'm going to say 3 or 4 years ago, somewhere in that time frame, maybe within 5. And they were fairly new to diesel drag racing there on the track. I'm pretty sure it was Western Maryland Pool show.
Yep. So
they had a lot of trucks. They had a lot of trucks drag racing. It was a pretty good show. Yeah.
Yeah. He's my first cousin. His name's Chet.
Yes.
He put together Generation Motorsports, and it is not uncommon for him to have 45, 50 trucks.
There was a lot of trucks there at night. Yeah.
And they ran them on the Saturday night of the fair opposite of the tractor pull and had just as big of a crowd as the tractor pull did.
That's
I
awesome.
couldn't believe it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's
Yep.
diesel drag racing in the dirt is getting very popular. Well, it ain't getting, it is popular. I mean,
yeah, and it's crazy how fast it took off.
yeah,
Yeah.
you bet.
And then Port Royal Fair is still a go. So we'll have a event Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of that week for Interstate, which is probably something that hasn't happened yet this year.
Well, let's hope. That's good.
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah.
And then Easton, Maryland is still holding out for September 18th. And then we go into Beaver Fair, which I know that they're making some changes, but they're still definitely having a fair, having a fair and having their pool.
Okay.
Not 100%, so I don't want to speak for them yet, but they're doing everything they can to have a fair there.
Good.
And then talking to Ray Belak with Gratz, he said, "Don't take me off the schedule yet. We're going to try and make it work."
Good.
The fair has been canceled officially, but they're still trying to make something work. Ray has 2 tractors and a heck of a track there, so I'm sure he's going to do everything he can to have his hometown full.
Never been to that. Never been to Gratz. I'd check that out sometime.
Yeah, very nice facility, nice fair. Probably one of the smaller fairs we go to, but still very well put on. Excellent food selection, good amount of animals. It's really nice. Have a lot of vendors.
Isn't that funny how the nice selection of food goes along with tractor pullers?
Oh, it absolutely does.
One thing they don't skimp on is eating. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Trust me.
And I know where all my favorite places are. So if you need to know where good food is, you just come find me.
There you go. Hey, Kurt, I've always turned to Kurt Forrester sometimes too.
Yeah, Kurt always knows where the good places are too. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we will close out our year down at Harrisonburg, Virginia, on October 3rd. They have just about every interstate class there.
Yep.
BJ Wilkins, you just talked about him down at Woodstock, the Bull Ride Mod Turbo Tractor. He puts that pool on.
Yes.
Sometimes it gets hecka cold down there, but it's always a good time.
Is the cricket tower still there?
The who?
The cricket tower. There's a tower down there at one end of the track.
I don't think so. Unless it's down at the far end, down where the I don't think it's still there. Last time I was there, they had done a bunch of excavating there in the infield.
Oh,
and
wow.
I think they cleaned it out.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh.
Yep. Yeah, last time I was there, they had piles of dirt everywhere, and I don't know what they were trying to accomplish, but they were doing something.
I'm thinking 2013 was the last year I was there. 2013 or 2014, I can't remember. It's one of them two. Yeah, since I know. I gotta get out more.
Yeah, you really need to come back out on the interstate circuit.
I'm sure I will.
Yep.
But we got I do have a pool coming up this Friday, but I'm going to save that one for last before we close. Okay. But we have Lincoln. Were you done? I'm sorry.
Yep, I'm all finished.
If I cut you off, just tell me to shut up and I'll let you talk. But anyway.
Okay.
July 25th, Lincoln Speedway, 800 Racetrack Road in Abbottstown, Pennsylvania, is our next Lucas Oil East Coast Pullers event. That's going to be at 7:30 p.m. And they're going to run the modified two-wheel drive trucks, the light pro stock tractors, East Coast pro stock diesel four-wheel drive trucks, and the modified four-wheel drive trucks as well. So that's a new venue for us. It's a brand new track that was built towards the end of last year, I believe. So we look forward to going there. And I spoke with Jerry Parrish there, and they're excited. They're ready to go. They were going to have racing and pulling the same night. They were going to run a couple classes of qualifier heats, bring us in, have our tractor and truck pull, and then close the night with their features. But the racing has been canceled, so it's just going to be a truck and tractor pull now.
Really?
So, yeah. There's a big event. I think I don't know the dirt track. Tanner was here, he could tell you the back of his hand, but I know there's a big event at Port Royal that Saturday night, so for whatever reason,
okay.
he has canceled the racing part of the venue for that evening. So it's just East Coast, and we're going to do our best to give them one whale of a show. So, and we got some good classes there to do it. Yeah, yep. That was just recently that changed there. So, of course, we said Listy was canceled. What's coming up after that? Well,
Probably Union County.
Union County, yeah. On the 7th of August, East Coast will be there with modified two-wheel drive trucks, the Super Stock Pro Stock tractors, East Coast Diesel Pro Stock Diesel four-wheel drive trucks, Norman. That would be Normie's class again. And then the limited Pro Stock semis, which you've only seen once this year. It'd be good to see them back on the track again. And the modified four-wheel drive trucks again will be out. So,
wow.
Yeah. Of course, the Bucks canceled. That was a hard one to take. We still have scheduled for the 3rd of September the Wyoming County Fair, and I'm seeing the 466 hot farm tractors and the modified four-wheel drive trucks for that. That fair has not been canceled yet that I'm aware of, and that is on the schedule. So, and that is 6 p.m. on September 3rd.
Tell you what, that one's a drive.
It can't be any further than New Milford. I can promise you that.
It's a little further west, I believe.
Yeah, it is. It is. But after running to New Milford, that's nothing. But let's see. Kempton. I forgot about Kempton. We still have a date for Kempton. On September 11th. Light Pro Stock tractors and the East Coast Diesel Pro Stock Diesel four-wheel drive trucks. There's been some talk about that particular event, maybe going 2 nights. I'm not saying it's happening. I don't want to spread any fictitious rumors. We'll let Kevin Nutt tell us whenever he knows for sure what they're going to do there. But as of right now, September 11th at 7 p.m. And then the following night on the 12th of September, so far across our fingers, Greensboro Volunteer Fire Company in Greensboro, Maryland at 6 p.m. will host the East Coast event as well with light pro tractors, modified four-wheel drive trucks, 466 hot farm tractors, and the limited pro stock semis once again. And first, then we're going to close. Frederick was canceled. Lincoln Speedway, October 10th is our final East Coast event, and I'm pretty sure we'll get both them Lincoln Speedway events in, no problem. So classes will be determined. That's going to be a 6 p.m. start time. And classes to be determined is because Terry is going to go through, look over the season, and put classes in that had the fewest hooks this year. And that's probably going to be the ones to finish out our season. I mean, that's the game plan. Ultimately, you know, the promoter's going to have the final say in that as well. But I'm sure we're probably going to see the likes of the modified tractors and the modified two-wheel drive trucks to start. Just a thought, because they have the fewest hooks. So whatever else is added is a bonus. So, but
very true.
This Friday at 7 p.m. at my hometown pool at the Mason-Dixon line here in, I guess you could say, Wyford and Delta. It's right on the Mason-Dixon line at the Mason-Dixon Fairgrounds. We have a truck and tractor pool here. The Mason-Dixon pullers, just a small little local group here. Mike Evans, Brian Greek from the David Greek's son that runs Limited Pro Stock Semi. He's also part of the committee here, and myself and a couple others. We're gonna try. I mean, as of today, I've seen some pretty incriminating information out of the state of Pennsylvania again. Now I wish we could just take the fairgrounds and move it a few feet south into Maryland now, you know. But so far,
I don't think any of the changes really affect outside stuff.
Well, they're really. I guess it's always been 250 people.
Yeah, it's always been 250.
Pennsylvania, I guess. But so it really, we should be okay. I mean, the fire chief's going to check into that tomorrow with the local senator, and get his guidance on what we're going to do. But there is COVID restrictions, obviously. We have it posted online on Facebook, Mason-Dixon Pools on Facebook. There's some COVID information there, what we ask you to follow, and that is obviously a face mask. We're not going to force you to wear one. I probably shouldn't talk out of line here, but it's recommended. We ask that you follow CDC recommendations. We don't want to get anybody in trouble, and we certainly don't want to get anybody in trouble, and we don't want to get in any trouble. And you will be required to sign a waiver, which I had a couple people today express their vocal opinion about that, but hey, that's the way it is, okay? And
well, that's the way a lot of the speedways are doing it.
Everybody, any pool pretty much we've been to this year, you've signed a waiver because they don't want to be responsible. And it's an insurance thing. So it's your responsibility to social distance if you can, where you can. If you can't, wear a mask. Simple as that. I had a post today come on, well, what if it's too crowded to just to properly social distance? Well, you wear a mask. I mean, that's a CDC requirement to do both. But
and you hate to say this, but if you're uncomfortable, nobody is making you stay there.
Absolutely not. And
you know, like you hate to say that, but at the same time, this is America. Just like I have the right to go, you have the right to go home.
The facility there at Delta, it isn't huge, but it's spread out enough there, and we'll get a fairly good amount of people, a good amount of poolers, I think. Not a lot, but we get a decent amount, and there's plenty of room to properly social distance. But you know, the waiver is basically makes you understand that you're responsible for a mask and you're responsible to social distance. It's simple as that.
Yep.
It's common sense. It's been part of our lives now for 4 months. So
yep, exactly.
That's all we're asking. We're trying to put a show on here, and we're going to do our best to make it happen. And we'll have more information tomorrow. If anything changes, obviously we'll be all over social media. And MasonDixonPools.com website will have information on it as well if anything changes. Order a pool. This is an official order a pool. Got it right here. So Brian Greek sent it to me today. I think it was Brian or Mike. The first class will be the stock diesel 8,500 pound diesel trucks. The second class is 6,800 pound work stock gas trucks. And third will be the 8,500 pound hot street diesel 4x4 trucks. Cool, a lot of trucks at Delta. And fourth will be the 6,500 pound street stock gas trucks. That's a nice little mixed class there. Now, fifth, we're going to have a 13,000 farm stock tractor class. We used to run farm stock tractors, and this was back when Paul Richardson, Dave Daugherty, and a few others, Nick Morrison, some others actually ran. Well, Nick was pulling antiques back then, but the class was built, for those tractors. And obviously Dave and Paul have moved on to the hot farm class for the East Coast and Snyder County in our hot stock. And so we're trying to resurrect the 13,000 farm stock class again. The rules are reposted on the website. They're very open. They're very general. And we're hoping we'll actually draw some Snyder County tractors down as well. I know most of the rules should fit them. They do have to have a helmet. That's one thing we do require that they don't. And there might be a couple other things, but I think it's pretty straightforward. So hopefully we'll draw some of them. That's our fifth class. We'll have an intermission. And then our sixth class will be we'll call it just Pro Farm tractors. The weight should be 10.5, I think. But we say Pro Farm because we allow, even though it's a class for Dave and Paul and Nick Morrison, that are 466, but we do allow 540 cube tractors. So that's why we decided to call it Pro Farm. And my understanding is we also have some Snyder County tractors coming down for the first time. So
that's awesome.
I think that'll be a fun time. It's going to be a great class. And we actually haven't had them there outside of the East Coast event, normally in July during the fair. So, and there'll be some new tractors coming in. So that'll be great. I think I'm pretty sure, Paul, I talked to Paul today, Paul Richardson. He said he's pretty sure Jeremy DeLuca's coming. Good. And that's a fantastic tractor. And, a good story, too. We need to get him on here sometime and talk with him. But
Yeah, he's a solid guy.
absolutely, yeah,
Hmm.
yep. And then after the seventh class will be the 6,500-pound Pro Stock gas trucks. Eighth will be the 2630 smoothbore Super Street diesel four-wheel drives at 8,100 pounds. That's a good class. And I've got some information on that. I think now I'm just gonna, again, I'm not trying to spread any rumors, but I've heard we got Clint Mills coming. We've got the Walkers with Dreams Happen. Jay Hill, I've heard with the Widowmakers coming. So we hope they're coming. So I know there's another event Friday and Saturday, I believe, in up Sarah's Pool,
Burlington. Yep, Burlington.
So we hope to draw some of these guys with us here. So that's I've heard they're coming, but we'll see. Ninth class will be the work stock semi trucks, and then our final class will be the super street semi trucks, and that's pretty much a limited pro stock semi East Coast style class. My understanding is we've got plenty of them coming, so we'll have a nice little couple classes of semi trucks. So it's a big night of pulling. We got, depends. I don't know who's going to go north and who's going to come over and pull with us, but we usually draw all the Elkton guys. Freddie Loggins with their trucks and whoever from over there. There's a bunch of them. Hopefully we'll draw them all, and we hope we get some of them good 3.0 diesel trucks come over in the 2.6. So. But that's 7 p.m. this Friday. Weather permitting, there's a chance of storms, but we're okay. One thing about this place is it drains fast, so
well, that's good.
We usually don't let it deter us unless we get swamped. And one thing we try to be very good about at Delta is if anything does change, we hit social media and the website immediately. We have pretty good communication with one another. Of course, we'll all be there all day Friday, so if anything changes, even tomorrow, we're supposed to find out more from the senator. So hopefully his guidance will be a positive thing, and we can make this thing happen. So that's our goal. As of right now, we're going to pull this Friday night in Delta. If anything changes, we'll let you all know. So that's all I got to say. Your turn.
I think I'm about done.
Wow, we filled over an hour and 8 minutes. How about
Look
that?
At us go.
Yeah, see? I think the co-host, she spoke probably an hour's worth. I got 8 minutes in. I'm just kidding.
Oh, well. Hey.
I
had a lot to say.
Hey, that's what it's all about, is have fun. And,
yep.
And, pulling is a great sport. And we have a lot of clubs. A lot of clubs, want to grow. And that's great. And that's what it's about. We just all need to get along together and work together, do the best we can. It takes all of us to make one great pulling family. It takes the fans, it takes the pullers, the promoters, the little guys like myself, whoever, just Kendra. I know you do a lot for Interstate, and it takes all of us. Everybody wants to be number one, and that's great. And I'm not saying anybody is. And but it's
the beauty of it is we're all volunteers. Well, not all of us, but most of us are volunteers and do it because we love it. So
that's the main thing. It's a love for the sport. We don't have to do it, believe me. None of us, we don't have to sit here an hour or so every Wednesday night and do anything, but we do, whether you're watching or not. Hopefully you do watch. And the main thing we're trying to do here is, in this COVID world we're living in right now, is hopefully have some positive information for you to get this pool information out to you. And by all means, I know there's a lot of people scared, to get out in crowds and stuff. And the weather is hot. Wear a mask. There's going to be people that don't wear them. Stay 6 foot from them. Unfortunately, there's hard heads. I'm one of them. It's hot out. I don't wear a mask. If I have to, I will. But
we saw people at Selinsgrove wearing masks on Saturday.
Absolutely, I've even seen some pullers, believe it or not, wearing them, which really surprised me. Yeah. But come out and support them. These guys are sticking their necks on the line, and it costs money to do this thing, and they would surely love to have you at their pools. So if it's within a couple hours of your home, go ahead and take a chance, go out there, stay safe. Main thing is, like I said, common sense. Go support your local pool. Think about COVID. I mean, it's real. Okay, I've got one here. My fiance works. Oh yeah, works in a hospital, and she's been front lines with it since day one, and it's real. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of it, and I'm going to say it's been blown out of proportion, and it's very true, but it's still real, and you just got to think about it and be smart about how you conduct yourself in public. Quit asking everybody else to do it for you. Do it yourself. That's the best way I can put it without being too rude and ignorant, I guess. You're responsible for your own actions. You're an adult. Even your children, it's your responsibility. So come out, support us. We appreciate it. And trust me, nobody wants to get sick, and we don't want to make anybody sick. But that's political. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But come out, support us. Be smart. Bring a mask. If you're uncomfortable, put your mask on. And just social distance. Now at Delta, we will have a food place open up there. The local fire company will have their food building open, and yes, they will be well within COVID restrictions, I'm sure. So I mean, you're not going to get dirty, infected food or anything. So they're pretty good people. Very good food too. So that's all I really have to say. Is just use common sense. Come and support a local truck and tractor pool, and let's get through 2020. And pray for a much better 2021. One day we can live, without the fear of anything to attack us or something. So, it's crazy. But that's really all I have to say. And Kendra, thanks for coming on again. I think we're going to have you on regularly. So I'm going to get this thing figured out where we can have some more people on with us. And
sounds good.
I think I'm sure we can come up with a list of people. We'll just hit them up and move down the line and get them to come on, and we'll do some talking, and hopefully we got some more. We'll have some more events to go over, hopefully. So
yep, definitely.
And, we'll certainly give it a try. So
I think once we get out of July, it'll really open up, and we'll have lots and lots to talk about. So
absolutely. So okay, well, we appreciate you watching, and once again, like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell for notifications every day, unless I'm busy in the hayfield or away going to a pool or something. I usually try to schedule or actually post pulling videos daily, at least one event. So take time, watch through some of this jibber jabber we do here with the live shows. We want to continue to grow. We'll get better. We'll get some poolers on here, and hopefully we'll get some more people who come in on the chat and ask questions, and maybe we'll get Brandy on here.
Oh, she'd love it.
Yeah, we'll get Brandy on here too. And I'm sure we'll have a ball with her. So.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, with that, Kendra, I'll talk to you in just a couple minutes here.
All right.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m.